Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Louisiana. Now I'll preface this video by saying you guys know I didn't actually get a chance to stream yesterday. I do apologize for that. I should be streaming today. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing turns up, but I will try to get a stream in today. It might be a little bit later. Probably after I get out of the gym. But this was one of the matches. I wasn't planning on showing this, but it is a fun match in Louisiana, and this will be one of the last matches you guys hear with the anime commander voiceovers. I have went back to the regular national voiceovers. I cannot stand the sheer overwhelming annoyance of all of the anime commanders. I'll be honest. I've completely worn out my like welcome with them. Like, I love the commanders themselves in terms of their abilities. I hate the voiceovers. Hate them. It started with Azure Lane, and then we got the other ones, and now we've got a third set. It's just obnoxious. It's obnoxious. So we went back to the national voiceovers to get rid of that. But anyway, I digress. We're going to showcase a little bit of everything in this match. We're going to showcase a solid game, but we're also going to showcase paying attention to what's going on the map, knowing when you have the advantage, and knowing when you can safely leave aside and be fine, right? Now, with all of that being said, I hope that you guys have been enjoying the videos. You guys have been absolutely crushing it this month. I want to say thank you to everybody, whether it's from the live streams with all the donos, whether it be from all of you guys liking, sharing, commenting on the videos. You guys have been absolutely crushing this month. So thank you guys so much. Now, as we start lining up the airstrike, our first airstrike on this Duncan, we're like, okay, maybe we wait till he commits, right? Like, I didn't want to drop it too early. And I'll be honest, it had been a while. This is one of the first matches that I played in the Louisiana before I posted the video the other day. So this was on that same night I was recording that video. But this just goes to show you, the Louisiana is just really, really good. No matter which way you skin it, like, Louisiana is very good. Now, unfortunately, this Duncan is shooting HE, which is sadness for me as a Duncan enjoyer. Like, I understand why you're shooting HE, because it's Conqueror HE, blah, 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 blah. Learn to use AP, my dude. The freaking Duncan is fantastic with AP. Now, here, you're going to notice that I screw up. The keen-eyed among you may have noticed that I turned that and was dropping it on the beach. That is something that I do way too often, more often than I care to admit, to be perfectly honest. But you'll notice that we never see those torpedoes show up, right? That's because my torp planes dropped them on the beach. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Missed out on about 20. Every time I screw up a drop, just think of it as 25,000 damage down the drain. Right, that's literally every single drop from Louisiana has the potential to be about 20 to 25,000 damage. So every time I screw it up, I'm missing out on about 20,000 damage. All right, but we're gonna hold our own over here, paying attention to what's going on around us. Our destroyer, watch what this destroyer does. All right, this destroyer, God bless his soul, not the brightest bulb in the box. All right. But we are going to go ahead and shoot at the Duncan. He is way over-angled here. This guy is disrespecting me in so many ways, and he's gonna learn. All right, you cannot sail over-angled or broadside in a Duncan. All right, and I'm going to show you exactly why that is. Just keep watching. And now he's shooting us with HE. Fortunately, we are running the Hoshino build, which gives us 6 freaking heals, so his HE is largely ineffective against me. So if you want to keep shooting HE at me, go ahead. I mean, he's doing a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but look at the damage we're getting back. Now, who's going to be able to heal more? Him with a giant British heal, or me with a giant American heal that also has 6 of them? Just throwing that out there. Now, we're about to get loaded again, thanks to our fast reload, and he is still sailing broadside, thinking he's immune to getting obliterated, and we're just going to keep proving to him that that is not the case. Bonk, as he loses another huge chunk of his health. Now, here, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking LeJeun's probably going to back up here. I'm going to drop the torps for him to back up and hope that we can get him. Now, our destroyer is still sitting behind the same island this entire game, right? Now, unfortunately, neither of these guys ended up backing up, so I wasted those torps from that torp drop. Another 20k down the drain, right? But we get a shot out at the Duncan, and again, still over-angled, still Citadel. Like, it is one of the easiest ships to Citadel in the world if you're a moron. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it goes, alright? I don't make the rules, I exploit them, alright? But the Destroyer still has not moved. Alright, we are almost 5 minutes in the game. The guy has gotten into that spot behind the island where he's doing absolutely nothing for 5 minutes. And he still refuses to move. Our cruiser has pushed up a little bit too aggressively. He's lost a lot of hit points. I appreciate the cruiser's idea. Somebody's got to try to do something. But again, pushing up in a cruiser, you knew the battleship was there. You got to be a little bit more selective on that push. I know that the destroyers are here. Both of their enemy destroyers are here. The enemy has been completely obliterated up to this point. They have lost 2 battleships, 2 cruisers already. We've lost 2 cruisers and a destroyer already, which is not ideal. Given the fact that we're paying attention to the minimap, we know there's a cruiser on the right side. It turns out to be an Alaska. We've got the Schroeder over here. We're going to try to stay angled to him. He is actually doing the right thing here, turning away, and he gets out of that. Like, he gets away from all of those. Look at that dispersion. Almost all those shells dropped short because he turned away. It's not because the shells fall short. I know a lot of people like to bring that up, and let's be honest, there are times where the shell dispersion screws you over. That wasn't one of them. That was one where he turned away and all my shells hit the water, right? But as he's turning away here, there's not a whole lot I can do, and he beaches himself and stops, so he dodges my airstrike too. Another 20k down the drain, right, guys? But will I stay here and deal with the fact that there's 2 destroyers over here with very little help? Or will I go across the map and try to help the other side and create the crossfires? Now, the Schroeder's not really a threat to anything in particular, so we're going to get what we can on him. As he starts to speed up, we get a couple of hits through the butt of the Schroeder. But now we're going to put ourselves in a place to crossfire the enemy Montana and the Alaska that's over here. Now, some of you will probably be looking at the map and going, well, Spartan, all of your battleships are now going over here to the right side of the map. Shocker. That's the place that the destroyers are not, right? So, now, unfortunately, I was the one spotting the Alaska, so as I make my turn to get the guns all to bear for the Montana here, unfortunately, the Alaska dropped spot, so I didn't get a shot at the Alaska, and now I've got to rely on potentially getting shots at the Schroeder or eventually the Montana, right? But I have made my decision. This left side is with Jesus. There is a cruiser and a destroyer versus 2 destroyers. Now, obviously, Arshima has no chance against the Lishun and the other destroyer if it came to that. Schroeder also has a great chance to counter our destroyer as well. But, unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. On top of that, we've already got that control on that cap, right? But if I come this way, I can help get rid of this flank, sealing this flank completely, and then allowing us to capture more bases, and thereby giving us the best possible chance to win. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's about winning, folks. It isn't about always staying where you're at. Now, again, I'm not saying you turn and run at the first chance, okay? We fought our side. We did everything we could to give our team a chance on that side of the map to win. And you can see Schroeder has taken a lot of damage. The destroyer, the Duncan, we fought the Duncan. We did everything over there that we could. But, again, we can't stay there forever hoping that something eventually gets spotted and we get a chance to shoot it. Whereas over here, pushing over to this side, we can help stop this side from being capped. And we can put ourselves in a good position to seal this side completely, right? There's only 2 ships left over here. We get rid of them, and then we don't have to worry about anything. Now, I want you to pay attention to 2 things here. First of all, I had to go around the friendly battleship there. Him and I, the Savetsky and I, are in the chat right now. He was worried about trying to hold this side by himself, and now he's got the entire team over here. So this Musashi is disrespecting an Alaska, and he deserved to die here. I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for the Alaska to death strike him right there, and he almost did. But unfortunately for Alaska, he left him with just enough to get away. Now here, we're gonna go ahead and drop our airstrike on the Alaska. We gotta dodge dum-dum in front of us over here and try to put ourselves in a position. And of course, the Alaska shoots me. Why would you not finish off the guy that overmatches you? But if you want to shoot me, that's fine, because you're going to eat a ton of torpedoes, and I'm going through the cheek to really put the hurting on you. You want to be a turd blossom? You deserve it. He could have shot the Musashi and finished him off, but he chose to shoot me. Montana ends up finishing off Musashi. Again, Now, Musashi completely disrespected him, and once again we prove that super cruisers against battleships in certain circumstances is just a matchup that battleship captains should learn to fear. All right, I don't know why battleship captains are so like gung-ho, thinking they own the joint, when you've got battleship caliber guns that will send you back to port in a hurry with a lot better accuracy than your battleship. Now, Montana's doing a good job aiming high, getting into that extended deck from the flight deck. But he's also sailing completely broadside. He's got no shot of surviving this battle, right? Like, no chance. There's never a moment... Oh, my God. Never mind. RNGesus says, go f yourself, Spartan. That was shells falling short, all right? That was a guy that's sailing flat broadside at 4 kilometers getting away with it because RNG said, oh, you shoot a bunch of guns at the broadside. All of those shells except one will just miss the target. But this time, it makes up for it. Now here, I'm going to try to slow down, make sure we stay in the cap, get this cap. We want the assist cap, right? So we slow down, we get the assist cap, and now we turn and start making our way back. Now, unfortunately, we did lose our destroyer, and if you look at where our destroyer died, our destroyer moved 1 grid square this entire game. 1 grid square. He spawned in, went straight into the cap, sat behind the island for the entire game, and then sat there. Now, I will say this. Holland did end up killing the Schroeder with a permafire, which is kind of funny. But, again, it's one of those situations that just should not happen, right? Like, the fact that you have I thought it was a Shimakaze, but it's even worse if it was a Holland. A gunboat, right? It's not the best gunboat in the world, but a gunboat. And you spent the entire game hiding behind an island, and then only to come out and get murdered when you're the only one left on that flank. It makes you, like, really, really question how people manage to get to high tiers. But anyway, as we try to wrap up this game, again, we are not going for damage. It is 2 destroyers versus 3 battleships. We're all, well, I say we're all. They're healthy. I'm not. I have taken a beating. I've put myself in positions to be shot at for the entire game, which we had 6 heals, and guess what? We used every fucking one of them. A lot of people have been like, well, Spartan, when are you ever going to use 6 heals? Right here, in this game. Y'all know I'm aggressive, man. So using 6 heals is not out of the question if the game lasts long enough. That's the problem. It isn't whether or not I can use 6 heals. Because guess what? I can use 6 heals. It's just whether or not the freaking game lasts long enough to get through 6 heals. Most of the time the games are over so fast because each side, one side or the other, gets raffle stomped, and it's just like, 6 heals? Is it really worth it? But honestly, I love this new commander. I really do. It has quickly replaced all of my other American builds currently. Now, I still juggle back and forth sometimes, but Hoshino is my current American meta ship captain, all right? I have put it on literally all of my American battleships, and I enjoy it on every single one of them. Faster reload, 6 heals, I'm aggressive, still decent enough accuracy to get away with everything. Especially with the epic artillery mod on all my battleships. So, like, as I do damage, it gets more accurate. So you don't really miss a lot of the accuracy late in the game. In the extra reload all the time, yes, Colorado gives you a bit more of a reload buff every 3rd shot, but this is every shot, right? Montana goes in and walks into torpedoes, and I'll be honest, this Montana's just lucky that these 2 weren't on the same page, because you charge into the middle of the map when you know there are 2 destroyers left. You're a gigantic target, and you don't turn very well. And so he's lucky to just not be dev struck. Like, if they had planned those torpedoes better as a team and cross-torped that man, he's a dead man. All of his health gone in an instant for nothing. No reason. Instead, we go over here and we grab this cap. Why are we going for this cap? Because we're playing to win. Right? It is a domination match. We're denying them points by being in the cap, and once we get the cap, we actually end up getting the points. Now, here, I'm going to go ahead and put my freaking airstrike down, and when I got lit up here, I was like, oh my god, I planned this perfectly. Am I going to be able to kill this freaking destroyer with blind drop torpedoes? It'd be the greatest kill in history, right? Period. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. He actually is in the middle of the map. Shocker. But I thought he was going to come out here and try to contest this cap. It's what I would have done. And a lot of times when I'm playing against destroyers, I play, like, counter what I would do, right? So if I'm in a destroyer, I'm looking at, okay, I'm down on points, I have to kill things, and I want to stop them from hitting my cap, right? So coming back, I'm the low health ship. 2 torpedoes from a Shimakaze kills me, let alone a Lashun and a Shimakaze. Plus, you have a Montana behind me that would be pretty easy to kill for a destroyer as well. So they could easily have killed two battleships and stopped us from getting the cap, and that would have completely turned this game on its head, which is why I wanted to separate myself from the rest of the team, right? I don't want to be next to each other. And Lashun comes around the corner, and I'm not going to lie, I have HE loaded. I fire the rear guns, 4 shells out. We hit him with 3, and then we fire the front guns and hit him with 3 more, and leave him with just enough to get away. And then the game ends on timer. But I had a lot of fun in this match, and I thought it would be a good one to showcase, even though I didn't actually showcase it. 160,000 damage, 3K base XP, top of the leaderboard in the Louisiana. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.